There is the matchup on your screen. And Brown fighting right out of his hometown, and the crowd will be in his corner, Arnie.
Well, of course, San Jose. I got to tell you, for 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, which is local time, it's a dynamite crowd here, and they're going to be very much behind Erik Brown, but he's got his work cut out for him.
Fight fans, and welcome to the San Jose State University Event Center here in San Jose, California, where this evening Cedric Kushner Promotions, the Garden City Boxing Club, and Corona Extra are proud to bring you the Battle of the Little Giants. This professional fight card has been approved and sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. Richard DeCure, Chief Executive Officer. Mr. Bill Leisman, Chairman of the Commissions. Representing and supervising for the IBF, Mr. Jim Rondeau. Your officials assigned to work this evening fight card are as follows. Your inspectors are Bobby Poncio and Dean Luhaus. Your timekeeper and counting for the knockdowns, Mr. Stan Gordon. Your judges are Gwyn Adair, Robert Exton, Ronnie Ralston, and Mr. Marshall Walker. Your attending physicians and ringside, Dr. Smith Cutchum and Dr. John Woodbury. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get things started with a co-main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing for the vacant California State Light Heavyweight Championship. Your judges are Jack Campbell, John Shirley, and Marshall Walker. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of this bout, a former San Jose State University champion and national collegiate champion, Mr. Davey Nelson. Introducing first in the blue corner, this young man tipped the scales at 174.25 pounds. His professional record consists of 17 wins, only 1 defeat. 14 of those victories coming by the knockout route. He is wearing the solid black trunks and hails from San Jose, California. Please welcome Mr. Erik Anthony Brown. His opponent fighting out of the red corner. He tipped the scales at an even 174 pounds. His professional record consists of 38 wins, 8 defeats, 1 draw. 12 of those victories coming by the knockout route. He is wearing the red trunks and hails from San Diego, California. Please welcome Ramzi Hassan.
As we take a look at the matchup there is the tail of the tape. Tokyo?
Well, of course, we got Erik Brown, 5 years younger than Hassan, the veteran. He's got a 2-inch height advantage. Weight's about the same, and of course, a big 4-inch reach advantage. This is going to be under the California rules. It's a 10-point scoring. There's no standing 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule is not in effect. You can only be saved by the bell on the last, and the doctor and referee can stop the fight.
For the California State Light Heavyweight Championship, Erik Brown, Ramzi Hassan, and this is a scheduled 10-rounder. Erik Brown coming in with a sparkling record of 17-1. And Hassan, as we mentioned at the top, has been extremely busy over his career, fighting everybody and anybody at 175. World champions, world title holders. And certainly has a lot of experience, and Brown will certainly find out just how far along he is in his light heavyweight career.
Virtual who's who of who Hassan has fought. You know, he had 2 title shots. He went the distance with Virgil Hill, losing a 12th-round decision, and then he was stopped for the WBO title by Michael Moore right after that. He was brought in, as we had mentioned earlier, as an opponent to fight a fellow by the name of Jimmy Joseph, who came in undefeated. This was 8 months ago, and got a very highly disputed draw. A lot of people thought Hassan won the fight, Huey. So he's going to give Erik Brown all he needs, and there's that left hand, which Erik Brown didn't need.
Ramzi Hassan coming in at age 31, probably in his last lap at the 175. Stunning Hassan is Erik Brown here in the first minute and a half of round number 1.
I think one of the things that's kept Hassan around this long is he fights with that fighter squadron group out of San Diego with Joe Sayadovich, Terry Norris, Orlin Norris was part of it for a while, Jesus Salud, a lot of good fighters. He's surrounded by people who keep themselves in shape, and that's probably got a lot to do with his longevity and why he can come around after some of these long layoffs and give some of these younger fighters all they can handle.
Brown getting some nice shots here in the first couple of minutes of action. If there has been a knock on Hassan, it is his lack of knockout punching power. Only 10 knockouts, I believe, in his career, which certainly doesn't bode well for winning any fights by knockout.
They have a term for that where they say, can't break an egg.
Brown looking very sharp here in the first 2+ minutes.
Good overhand right there by Brown.
Hassan has eaten a lot of right hands here in the first round.
Hassan's chin is suspect. There we go, as I say it.
Did he do that on cue for you, Tokyo, or what?
Well, that was the way it went in the script. Let's see if Brown may not let him get away now. Hassan on very shaky legs, Huey.
At 20 seconds to go in round number 1. The local favorite, Erik Brown, on the attack. Hassan trying to fight back.
Brown showing a lot of poise. Hassan comes back with a great right hand. Well, Huey, right on cue when I was saying his chin was suspect. He got rocked and got rocked bad. By the end of the round, though, he came back and answered Erik Brown with a terrific overhand right. And we got a little bit of a war going on here.
Hassan took some huge shots and then came back the last 20 seconds and landed some good combinations of his own.
I got to tell you, he showed beautiful resiliency. This is a guy who's been stopped by the likes of David Vedder, who's not a heavy punching light heavyweight. He got stopped by Tony Willis. And we'll take a look here. Hook off the jab, followed by a right hand, and that's what shook Hassan.
I don't know what kept him up in that last flurry.
And here comes, watch, good right uppercut and bang. Left-right combination by Hassan off the ropes just when you thought he was ready to go down.
Erik Brown with 14 knockouts of the 17 professional victories. Round number 2. This is a scheduled 10-rounder for the California State Light Heavyweight Championship. And the first 3 minutes of action were just tremendous. We'll see if they can keep up the pace.
I think, believe it or not, even though we got shook early in the round, the fact that he was able to come back like that has given a lot of confidence to Hassan. He's coming in gunning, throwing overhand rights.
Easy, step back, break it.
Ramzi, Hassan of his 34 victories, only 10 by KO, so that's well under 33%.
Erik Brown needs to get recomposed, reestablish that jab. The combination that worked for him was he hooked off the jab and followed with the right. If he can do that again, he'll have Hassan back where he wants him.
Ramzi Hassan from Jordan has been here in the States for many years. Fighting a lot on the West Coast.
Rick, step back.
Erik Brown getting that jab out there, stopping Hassan in his track.
That's going to be the key, Huey. He needs to stay out there, not throw wild right hands over the top like that. Hassan's got too much experience to let Brown get away with things like that.
He really does have a lot of punches. Hassan's getting into a nice left hook.
Rick, step back.
You know, Brown keeps that left hand down, and Hassan's been bringing that overhand right in and landing it pretty successfully.
And that's what's going to allow Hassan to get back in there. He's going to start to tee off with right hand leads. If Brown's going to keep it down there, he's got to throw it at a lot higher volume. He can't throw one jab and walk around. He's got to double up on the jab. He's got to hook off the jab. That worked for him in the first round, and he should still be employing that tactic.
Just hit that right hand, landing a couple times.
Just like you said, right over the top again by Hassan.
I'll tell you, Brown certainly has all the power punches. Both hands seem to pack some good power. And he just ate a left hook and inside. It's Brown and Hassan going toe-to-toe just like round number 1.
Ramzi Hassan starting to use the jab a little bit now. But he just ate a very tough right from Erik Brown.
Erik Brown showing very good accuracy in the first 2 rounds of this 10-round match.
And his punching power is a lot better than Hassan's. He's had 14 KOs in his 17 fights, which is more than Hassan's had in his whole 10-year career. 12-year career, excuse me. Good
shots by Hassan. Hassan inside 10 seconds. Round number 2, another good round for Erik Brown from San Jose, California. A little more composure at the end of round number 2, but certainly Erik Brown showing a lot of tremendous punching power, but Hassan showing very good resiliency.
Oh, it's very similar to the way the Jimmy Joseph fight went. Hassan was rocked very early in that fight. He kept himself composed. He came on in the later rounds. Like I said, he's in shape because he hangs out with the Fighter Squadron fighters up in San Diego. And he wound up getting a draw and a disputed one at that, where a lot of people thought he won the fight. He's taken some bombs so far from the very hard-hitting Erik Brown. So we'll have to see what happens here. The 3rd round, 4th round will be very telling.
As we take a look at Erik Brown, has 11 straight wins, but only 54 professional rounds before tonight. Ramzi Hassan's been in there for 292 professional rounds and with top flight competition.
We're talking names like Jeff Lampkin, Uriah Grant, Michael Mora,
Virgil Hill. Beautiful. Hassan has fought the best at 175. He's getting an up-close look at a very highly touted prospect by the name of Erik Brown.
But that chin, as we mentioned earlier, is suspect. I watched him one night at the LA Forum, way ahead on points against Tony Willis, only to get caught by a shot and get knocked out cold in the 12th round.
Brown trying to keep that jab in Hassan's face. Hassan getting some decent shots. If he had any sort of punching power, I think Brown would be in bigger trouble.
Off balance when he threw it, though. Sort of a lunging left off the jab.
Break, step back.
Erik Brown's lone loss happening some 3 years ago. 6-round knockout at the hands of Michael Green.
Break, step back.
Good combinations by Erik Brown. He stays on the outside.
He's starting to get the range now on the jab, where he's able to throw the right off the jab as well and stay far out there. But he can't drop that right hand. I think he feels very confident, though. He's taking Hassan's best shots and rocking him.
He's taking 2 or 3 to get in his big bombs right now is Erik Brown. Hassan trying to land a home run uppercut.
But again, just like the Jimmy Joseph fight, he may pay for that in the later rounds. Because I think it's a surprise to both Brown and to us. Hassan's taking Brown's best shots too.
Terrific action at center ring. 1 minute mark of the 3rd round. Scheduled 10 California State Light Heavyweight title belt awaiting to be fitted on one of these 2 fighters. Big shots by Brown after Hassan in the combination.
But I got to tell you, Hassan landed his combination flush. A lot of grounds were caught on Hassan's gloves. It's going to be interesting to see how the judges see that sort of scoring. Good right to the body by Ramzi Hassan.
Inside 15 seconds, round number 3. Some more action as Erik Brown continues to pound away, but the veteran Hassan's right there the entire time, trying to land his shots. Good round for both fighters. Brown certainly landing the heavier shots, but Hassan staying in there and keeping the attention of the young prospect.
And as I had said, I think a lot of those shots were getting caught on the gloves by Hassan. Erik Brown, when he establishes the jab on the outside, is doing a lot better. When he goes in and tries to slug with Hassan, he may not be in danger of getting stopped, but he's not landing the punches flush. And I thought it was a very good round for Ramzi Hassan, all things being equal, and actually scored it for him. And I've got the first 2 rounds at this point for Erik Brown. I gave the 3rd round to Ramzi Hassan.
There's Here's a look at Ramzi Hassan's corner, as we said, fighting out of Campo, California, as you can see his crew there. And we said he's been around a long time, fighting for some 12 years right now.
Well, his first world title shot came back in 1988 against Virgil Hill, and was followed up 6 months later by another title shot against Michael Mora.
Round number 4, schedule 10. Erik Brown in black trunks on the move, and Ramzi Hassan, red trunks.
That's what Brown has to do. Double, triple up on that jab. Keep Hassan off him. And when the right opportunity comes, either hook off the jab or follow up with that right hand.
Hassan has gotten just enough shots in there that Erik Brown is just freewheeling. I don't think I've ever seen Ramzi Hassan land as many shots early in a fight as this. He is just very accurate here, although his punching power has always been suspect. And Brown's taking some good shots.
It'll be interesting to see if they can keep up this sort of pace. It's not just a matter of how many punches being thrown. A lot of arm punches being thrown by both fighters, which are going to make them weary. And a good 2-3 punch combination getting in there by Hassan.
And once again, it comes down to the judges' scorecard. How do they score those quick combinations? No question who has landed the more powerful punches, but the number of punches certainly might go in Hassan's favor.
Well, you can tell both of them are getting just a little bit tired. The first clinches of the fight have taken place in this round.
Davey Nelson is your referee. Yeah, clinches here in round number 4, midway through round number 4.
In most cases, unless it's a particular style of a fighter, good left hand from the outside by Hassan, you can tell just how tired everybody's getting by how the clinches increase. And there weren't any in this fight up until this round.
The grand right landed by Hassan, and then he comes in and grabs. And you see some blood a little bit out of the mouth of Erik Brown. Hassan coming in and grabbing again. As you said, the fatigue factor might be coming into play here. Far more posturing here in round number 4 than there were in the previous 3 rounds.
Good overhand right by Hassan. Comes over the top of that very low left hand of Erik Brown. He's got to... That's something that's got to be improved if he's going to
get in some heavier punches. He's going to take a pound.
You go into the likes of Virgil Hill and you keep your left hand that low. That's not where you want to be. It's got to be corrected.
Inside 15 seconds to go in round number 4. Erik Brown and Ramzi Hassan holding on here. Maybe an off round for both of them, as the pace was tremendous in the first 3 rounds. As we get a look at Erik Brown walking back to his corner, there seems to be a little bit of fatigue in that walk.
Well, both of them look real tired. The question is, I remember again referring back to the Jimmy Joseph fight where everybody thought that Hassan was brought in for an early KO. And at the 12th round, he was still standing there, and he might have started breathing heavy as early as the 5th or 6th, but he dealt with it. It'll be interesting to see now. Both of them seem a lot more tired. They were clinching a lot in that round. A little blood was coming out of the mouth of Jimmy Joseph, and we'll just see what they've got left.
As we look at the corner of Hassan, has always had trouble with swelling. He's got really heavy brows anyway, and invariably during the course of longer fights he does have some swelling problems.
There's that great overhand right there. Followed by a good right uppercut by Erik Brown. He just didn't seem to do enough of it though. His corner's yelling at him, use the jab, use the jab. He could set so much more up. He just would stay on the outside, double, triple that jab. First round, that's how he caught Hassan. Hook off the jab, followed by right. There he goes, like a piston right now.
And Hassan quickly comes in with a right of his own. Moves his knees, and there we go. Erik Brown trying to land that big shot to put Hassan off on the mat.
Well, he got Hassan's attention by double tripling on that jab, which allowed him to throw that straight right while Hassan's looking for the jab. And now he's got Hassan backpedaling.
Hassan holding on, as you can see. Seconds into round number 5, scheduled 10. He goes back to throwing just one jab.
And keeping it low after throwing it.
And Hassan's stunned there at about the 15-second mark here, round number 5, and looks like Hassan's got his legs back underneath.
They got to watch their heads in there. Davey Nelson's got to watch them as they're both getting tired. They had a bad clash of heads there just then. It's going to open up a cut on somebody and another good overhand right, followed by a second, third, 4-punch combination Huey by Erik Brown.
Hassan quickly trying to bounce back from that. And he usually does. He's taking some vicious shots.
Hassan been stopped 3 times in his career. Once by Tony Willis, Michael Mora, and the light punching David Vedder, which you have to question.
And from our vantage point, Brown looks like he hits as hard as most any light heavyweights I've seen out there.
Well, but he hasn't, this is a big step up for him. His last fight came against Keith McMurray.
The legendary Sir Jab-A-Lot.
Sir Jab-A-Lot,
Keith McMurray has fought every professional fighter over the past 10 years. It doesn't matter what weight class he's been there.
Not once, but twice in a lot of cases.
Oh, Brown is hurt. Brown is definitely stunned.
He's got 30 seconds left to get his composure here. He may not make it.
Hassan trying to finish up the work here, and Brown is holding on. Our hands are down to his waist. Big shots by Hassan. Brown looks like he's ready to go inside 10 seconds of round number 5.
He's got to tie him up. Huey's got to hold on. He can't. He's keeping that left hand down low.
And there is a cut, I believe, over the left eye of Erik Brown.
Erik Brown surviving the toughest 30 seconds of his career. He was holding on for a while, then he had nothing left. He was keeping his left by his side, and Hassan was a little punched out.
So this is, like you said, his last fight in action, Arnie.
We're going to take a look here. Watch this, and there it is. Starts off with a hook and followed by a right over the top. And that buckled the legs. And there's the other view, that right hand, right over the top. Good uppercut combinations. Erik Brown trying to figure out how to hold on. There was 30 seconds left in the round at that point. I can't tell you that he kept his calm, but I can tell you that Hassan was a little punched out, and probably that's why he couldn't stop it. A lot of screaming going on in the corner. Erik Brown trying to wake him up. He's got to get that jab started to keep Hassan off.
Round number 6, a huge round for the man in the red trunks, Ramzi Hassan, a 31-year-old veteran. And I don't know if the legs are back for the 26-year-old Erik Brown yet. He doesn't seem to be 100% all the way back from that pounding he took at the end of round number 5.
And if that's the case, he's doing the right thing. Stay on the outside. That's what he's doing now.
Hassan really pounding away at Erik Brown.
They're right above his Huey, and what he doesn't want to do is get stuck on the ropes again. Until his head clears, he's better off tying up Hassan.
Erik Brown definitely looks spent. The punches don't have the same pop they did. And he's trying to stay away.
At the same time, Ramzi Hassan's got to be careful. I saw him get knocked out by Tony Willis in the same exact scenario in the 12th round of the USBA title fight. So he can't get... He's got to remain cautious himself. At the same time, take advantage of Brown while Brown's in this state.
You said the clashing of heads has become a little more serious in the past couple of rounds. Long hand right hand by Erik Brown. Now he's the champion. And he said Brown's trying to get his legs underneath him. Davey Nelson trying to separate the two.
Brown's got to be careful and close like that. Hassan knows how to use that uppercut well. when they get into a clinch or get in close, Brown's not doing much. So his game's going to have to see to stay on the outside.
Break them out easy. Step back, step back.
Mr. Experience can really tell the difference. And certainly the man in the red trunks has far more experience than the young Erik Brown. Now trying to keep Hassan outside.
That's where he should have kept them all fight. But when you've got 14 KOs out of your 17 wins, you think you're going to take everybody out. Erik Brown looks over to his corner. What is it that I'm supposed to be doing? At the same time, they must have said throw a right hand in Hassan's face, because he did.
Hassan's got the cut on the right eye. The headbutt, as you mentioned last round, it was going to get serious. Hassan complaining to Davey Nelson, and it is a bad one. You can see it dripping from here.
Now the real question is, let's see, we're in the 6th round.
Smith Cutchin, and this is for the California State Light Heavyweight bout.
The doctor doesn't want to talk to the ref. Let's see what he's saying here.
Definitely was from that last headbutt. Hassan very upset about this.
And we're going to have to get a ruling here on where they do concerning the scorecards. I believe the California rules, I'm not sure, in a non-title fight, in California, it would be to go, it's the 3rd round. But this being a California state title fight,
Davey Nelson is going to stop this fight midway through round number 6. And Arnie will be sending you up there. Really a terrific light heavyweight battle between Ramzi Hassan and Erik Brown. Dominated early by Brown, but Hassan coming on in rounds 4 and 5 and really appeared to be getting his second win until a clash of heads there through round number 6 caused the problems. And Davey Nelson, on the advice of ringside physician Smith Curtin, stopped it. As you see Brown coming up, and right there you saw the headbutt. The right eye met the head of Erik Brown, and Hassan knew it the minute it happened. We could see the blood immediately starting to flow from the right above the right eye, and there is ringside observers could see it, and Davey Nelson stopped it quickly. Smith Cutchin came in ringside position and said, I cannot let this one go on. We'll get some clarification from the referee, and it will be, I believe, turned over to the scorecards. And we'll be going to the scorecards here momentarily, as this one had gone by 3 rounds. So we'll see what the story was. It was certainly a fight that Erik Brown seemed to have well in hand the first 4.5 rounds. Hassan came on late in round 4, and in round 5 had Brown almost out on his feet. In round 6 it was pretty much touch and go until the clash about 1:30 through. There's a look at Hassan. It looks like they have stopped the bleeding at least momentarily. Really an action-packed light heavyweight battle here for the California State title at 175. We'll be going to the scorecards. David Mercado. Dan Mercado has the scorecards. We'll check in with him.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to an accidental headbutt causing a cut to Ramzi Hassan's eye, we go to the scorecards. Judge John Shorley saw the bout 47-47. Judge Marshall Walker saw the bout 48-46. Judge Jack Campbell saw the bout 49-46 for the winner by majority position, Erik Anthony Brown.
Erik Brown getting the majority decision, although Davey Nelson some major discussion there between David Mercado, the ring announcer, and Davey Nelson, the referee. Now,
Ladies and gentlemen, let me restate that. The fighter who has attained the cut cannot lose the bout. This bout is a draw.
so we're going to try to get some verification from Davey Nelson. Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal with referee Davey Nelson.
All right, Davey, we got to seem a very unhappy crowd here. Can you clarify the ruling for us caused by the accidental headbutt?
Yeah, the rule in the California rule book is if the accidental headbutt in the first round, it's a technical draw. If after the first round there's a butt, you go to the scorecards. The person receiving the cut cannot lose. The worst he can get is a draw. So that's what this was.
So in spite of the fact that Erik Brown was ahead on the scorecards,
Exactly.
Ramzi Hassan received the accidental butt. The worst he could get was a draw, which is what this bout has been declared.
That's right. That's exactly right.
All right, so the original announcement made by the ring announcer obviously was in error. And this is a draw, and well, that's the way it goes, right? Did you see the headbutt?
I didn't see the headbutt. I saw him move inside. I wasn't. I didn't see the bout. The butt right there.
Right. We had noticed.
I saw him come up, but I didn't see the heads really bang and make the cut.
Here it is in slow motion. You see it. We had noticed at ringside that the fighters were getting a little tired. They had thrown a lot of punches early on. They began clinching a lot in the fourth round, and I said the headbutts are getting in there. The heads are starting to clash. Right. They were tired, and that you've seen that happen before.
It happens a lot. The guys get fatigued and they get a little off balance.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and for clarifying the ruling, and a good job. Thank you.
Confusion a little bit up at inside the ring.
All right, Erik.
We're going to talk with Erik Brown.
Has to be a disappointing situation for you. You were winning the fight. You did get rocked earlier the round before, but the head started getting lazy in there as you guys got tired. Nothing you can really do about a situation like this, is there?
No. He's a tough fighter. Starting to feel strong coming on in the end. You know, slow start in the day. We started to pick it up though. Starting to feel pretty good, but you know these things happen. You know, it's in the eyes of the judges to make the decision. So.
Okay, you were obviously rocked real bad the previous round. You were hang on. There was 30 seconds left to go. How long did it take for your legs to clear?
It didn't take long. You know, I snapped right back, just keep my hands up and put the movement on. I wasn't hurt that bad. You know, he had caught me with a few shots though. Just move a little bit and get my senses back and start fighting again.
Okay, were you surprised by the experience though of Ramzi Hassan? You had a situation here. You needed this fight. You were winning the fight on the scorecards, and he was hanging in there a little longer, taking some of your best punches.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's why we fought him. We expected him to be tough. You know, we're in here to get the experience from him so we could take the next step and move on. So, you know, he did exactly what we expected him to do, be a tough fitter and push me to the limit. So, you know, he did a good job.
Well, the book on him also isn't that he's supposed to be too tough a puncher. Were you surprised by the couple of times that he rocked you?
No, I wasn't shocked at all because he's been in with the best. You know, he's fought like 3 or 4 world champions. So, you know, I didn't take him lightly at all. You know, Ramzi's a strong fighter. You know, he might not have that one punch knockout ability, but he's a good fighter, a good strong fighter. So.
All right, well, disappointing conclusion, and we hope to see you again soon. And now back to you, Malay, at ringside.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Tokyo. And we're going to check in with Ramzi Hassan and his corner man as we're going to throw it right back, a little pitch it right back to Tokyo. Tokyo.
Well, Ramzi, you had a situation here. You finally were getting to him. You had him rocked real bad, and it looked like you were going to come on and possibly even stop him. And we had noticed at ringside both fighters were getting a little tired. Those heads were starting to clash. We noticed it the round before, and bang, sure enough, there you go.
Well, I was expecting something like this to happen, but I was very aware of it from the beginning, from the very first beginning. But, you know, the first 2 rounds, I know he hit me with a good punch, but I shook it up and everything was going just my way, the way I wanted. And I knew later on, in the later rounds, I would take him. But unfortunately, the accidental headbutt happened.
Well, sometimes it's a disappointing situation. You had him in a situation where he had to hold on. You see it there. We saw it coming. And it's almost caused by the fact that you had him on weary legs, and he was leaning in towards you, didn't have great legs underneath him anymore, and unfortunately, where you might have stopped him by this point, you wind up going home with the draw.
Exactly, that's unfortunately what happened when you find somebody in his hometown. But, you know, I knew later on in the rounds I was going to take him, I was going to knock him out because I hurted him so bad, and he was just hanging on me. You know, I mean, if that round was a little longer, he would have went down, but... You know, I think fortunate for him, it went a little longer.
Well, we were also really surprised. You know, you were taking some of his best shots. He's supposed to be a heavy puncher, but you were walking through him.
Oh, well, he hit he has a very good, decent punch. But, conditioning. I've been training very hard for this fight, and I've been almost with the best in this light heavyweight class. So,
well, all
yeah,
right. We wish you good luck, and hopefully the two of you can get back together. And now back to you, Malay, at ringside.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tokyo. So Ramzi Hassan, the veteran, goes to 34-1 and a draw.